Is astrology a lie? That's the question today. And so the short answer is it depends. And the full answer is it depends. And so we're going to cover the full answer today. If you've been listening to mainstream astrology or tropical astrology, then yes, in my opinion, what they have been teaching is perhaps not a lie, but inaccurate at best. And so let's talk about why that is. So what is astrology? I looked up the definition, and according to Webster's dictionary, astrology is the study of the movement of the celestial bodies. And it's from the Greek. The word astrology is from the Greek language and means from or of the stars. And so you would think that astrology, what we hear in the mainstream, is talking about what's going on in the stars and in the skies with the planets. And what I discovered recently in the past year and a half or so is that it is not, right? Your mainstream astrologer is not talking about what's going on in the sky. They're using computer-generated models that actually have nothing to do with what's going on in the sky. So how can that be? You might be thinking. I know I was thinking that. So what happened was about 2,000 or 2,500 years ago, the Babylonians, when they created the calendar, set the zodiac at a certain point in time and left it there. But what happens is that every year the sun does not return to the same point in the sky, in the zodiac. It moves, it adjusts about 1 degree every 72 years. So that's not a lot, right? You might be thinking. But over 2,000 plus years, it is a lot. It's actually a whole sign off. So what a lot of people have been following or paying attention to, or even if you're just curious about what your sign might be, it's probably not that. So all of my signs changed, right? My sun, my moon, my rising. And if you're not familiar with astrology, you probably just know your sun sign, where the sun was when you were born. And most people's signs are a whole sign off. That was the case for me. So in addition to the sun not returning to the same spot and tropical or modern astrology not tracking that change, additionally, mainstream astrology or tropical astrology also have that computer-generated model I talked about. It has all the signs as the same size, 30 degrees. But all the signs are not the same size. They're all different sizes. Some signs are really big, like Virgo and Pisces are really big. And other signs like Scorpio and Aquarius and Libra are really small. So with the combination of that and there's a 13th sign, which could be a whole video in and of itself. There is a 13th sign in the zodiac that mainstream astrology just ignores, and that's a fucus. So with those three things, the sun not returning to the same spot, that's called precession of the equinox, the constellations all being different sizes, and the 13th signs, tropical astrology is just inaccurate. Okay, it's just wrong. There are some sidereal astrologers, and so sidereal means of or relating to the sky. Okay, and so that's what I've been studying, that's what I've been learning, that's what I've been practicing, is what I'm going to call true sky astrology, because we are looking at the sky, what's happening in the sky, and then we're interpreting that energy as such. Okay, so some true sky or sidereal astrologers, say that mainstream or tropical astrology is not wrong. I disagree. I feel it's inaccurate. When you look up at the sky, right, you can use lots of apps. There's free apps like Stellarium that you can use to like point it at the sky, and you can see where the sun and the stars and the celestial bodies, the planets or the luminaries are. And so, for example, I think mainstream astrology right now at the time of this recording is saying that it's Cancer season, right? Because it is, I don't know what the date is, June 29th or something like that. It's Gemini season. We actually just started Gemini season last week. Okay, so that's a whole size. I thought I was Gemini. My son was Gemini, but it's actually Taurus. And the change has actually been revolutionary for me. So in an effort to keep this short, I'm going to leave it there, but I am going to be talking more about this in the foreseeable future, okay? If you want to know what your true sky sign is, I'm going to invite you to, I'm going to put a link in the comments, right? I'm going to invite you to go to masteringthezodiac.com and you can run your chart for free. You just put the information in. You don't even have to provide your email address. You can run your chart for free. You will get your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. You need the time of birth for your rising sign, but for the other two, you just need the date and the location. And you'll get a little mini horoscope reading on all those things, on those 2 or 3 things, 3 if you have your time of birth. And I'm going to invite you to come back here and put in the comments, please, what your big 3 are. And the big 3 are your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. And in that link, Athen Shimenti gives you a great little summary, a little reading for free. Again, you don't even have to provide your email address about what those things mean. And so come back and tell me what your big 3 are and if it changed for you, right? So I thought I was Gemini and I'm actually Taurus, and my moon is Aries and my rising is Libra, all of which makes a lot of sense. Okay, this also, brace yourselves, my loves, okay? This also changes your human design, if you're down with that. My human design completely changed, and which was revolutionary for me because I didn't resonate with my human design, and now I do. And if you resonate with, if you're like, like I'm Gemini and I don't want to hear about anything else, okay, then I'm not talking to you. And Godspeed and God bless. But if you're open and you're like, I do resonate with my, my sun sign, what I think it is, that's okay, because we're all of it. I'm also going to talk about that in another video. We're all of it, okay? This is the energy that is in our immediate cosmos at the time of our birth. And you also likely have major planets in that sign, which might explain why you really resonate. But I'm very curious to hear about what your new sign is, or what this new information is. And some people may not change, right? So like, I have loved ones and clients who are Tauruses, were Tauruses, and their sign did not change because Taurus is really big. So it allowed for the change. It just absorbed the change. Or Virgo, if you're a Virgo, perhaps you're still a Virgo, because Virgo is also very big. But again, I want to hear. And remember, there was a 13th sign that has been hidden from us, Ophiuchus. And I don't think I'm going to talk about Ophiuchus, but if you do want to know about Ophiuchus, I would invite you to go check out my mentor, Ike, my astrology mentor, Ike Rodriguez. He can talk a lot about the 13th sign, and he's done videos. He was featured in a documentary, and Ophiuchus is pretty amazing. Oh, and in Ophiuchus, there's also, I can't believe I almost forgot this. In Ophiuchus, there's also the galactic center, which is the womb of the universe. So really powerful stuff. And I'm going to leave you with that. Okay. So remember to check out the link in the comments, run your chart, and come back and tell me in the comments what your big three are, if they changed, and how you feel about this information. Excuse me. I'm going to make a part 2 video about this, because this was really hard for me to wrap my mind around, surprisingly. And so I can appreciate that it might be a tough red pill to swallow. But I assure you that if you do, it will serve you greatly. Okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. Ciao for now. Lots of love. Eager to hear what your results are. Mwah. Love you.